Hey, what's up, everybody? Josh here on 11th Street, and it is exactly a week and a day since I ran the Marine Corps Marathon. And it's also exactly a week from my most recent doctor's appointment. Now, for those of you that don't know, I am a veteran, so I go to the VA. Now, before everybody gets all crazy and tells me the VA horror stories, yeah, I know. But I ran into the luck of having one of the good ones. But before I get into that real quick, in case you don't know, I'm trying to upgrade myself here. So in the comments, I could use some feedback, some tips. If anybody out there knows good equipment, anything better than this, I'm open to ears and suggestions. Also, if anybody has any good video editing apps or programs that they know of and want to throw my way, go ahead, drop that in the comments. But anyway, back to the reason why I'm putting this video out. So yeah, I finally got myself a good VA primary care about a year ago. So in 2019, I got out of the Marine Corps, and it was the first time that I was told to my face, hey man, you're pre-diabetic. Diabetes runs in my family. My father has it. His brothers had it. He lost two brothers to diabetes. My grandmother on my mother's side has diabetes. So wasn't looking too good here for your boy here. But I said, you know what? I was one of those hard-headed guys, no, not me. I'm good. No problem. So 2019, I get out, moved to my current location, linked up with the VA. They ran more tests. Year later, still same thing. Hey, you're still pre-diabetic. So okay, well, what can I do? And the doctor at the time, I'm not going to name drop anything, but she was about as useful as swimming cleats. She was all about pills. I think she gave me a list, and for the past 3 years, my prescription list was about 7 medications. In there was a vitamin D supplement, some acetaminophen for headaches. I suffer from migraines too, but a lot of it was feeding me medication without really looking into the root cause. They were just treating the symptoms. Seems to be the big thing these days. But so year went by, 2020 comes, the C word, not that C word, the C word pops up, shuts everything down. Doctor's appointment's done, but I'm like, you know what? I'm healthy, I'm smart, so I thought I can just handle it. So I'm going into the gym, you know, putting on the gains, going into the gym, watching what I'm eating, but not really. 2021 rolls around, 2022 comes, and I go to my now current doctor, and he's like, "Hey, man, you're pre-diabetic. Has anyone spoken to you about it?" And I was like, "Not really. I was just given meds." And he goes, mm-mm. "Listen to me. Listen to what I'm telling you. Follow these things, these guidelines." He handed me a guideline, one that he did himself. He published it. I was like, all right, cool. Now, mind you, this doctor is now, I find out, an Air Force veteran of 20 plus years. I believe at one point he ran and won the Air Force Marathon. I find out, owns the running shop in town that I go to. So I was like, okay, this guy, he's not just running at the mouth. He's about that life. He's doing it. So year goes, I follow his program, not to the T, but I start to implement things little by little. I'm like, okay, I start to feel better. I start taking up running a little bit more seriously, implement it into my workout, sign up for a couple of races, and then I'm tugging on his ear, like, hey doc, I'm planning on running this, planning on running that. He tells me proper equipment, proper etiquette, proper science behind the whole thing. So, long story short, I go to my appointment last week, and they do everything. Blood pressure's good, heart's good, lungs good. I just finished running a marathon, so legs not so good. But it is what it is. I walk in, nurse takes the little finger prick and leaves. Doctor comes in, talks to me, asks me about the marathon, so on and so forth, asks me how my diet was going along. I told him I was following. I felt better. He looked at me physically. He goes, you look better. You look happier. You look healthier. And then the nurse comes in. Nurse comes in, looks at the doctor, and says 5.5. I don't know what the hell 5.5 means. I'm not in the medical field. But Dr. Mark Cucuzella, I apologize if I got your last name butchered a bit, but you know who you are. He turns and looks at me. He goes, congratulations, Josh. He goes, you are no longer in the category of pre-diabetic. He says, but don't get it twisted. You can still fall back into that. but the fact that you got out of it shows that you're on the right path, the right intentions. It goes, and with that, there's no need to take X, Y, Z, and W medications anymore. Because your medication is in your kitchen. You've been eating right, you've been exercising, you've been cutting out, the BS, all those highly processed foods that, come in a box, basically. So your grocery store, this is the grocery store, this is where you should be shopping, and all the processed bull is in here. He goes, stay away from that unless you need spices. Just the perimeter, and I had heard it before, but I didn't see the results of what these people were telling me, so it wasn't sticking. So I'm like, damn, this actually worked. Because we all know there's nefarious acts behind the curtain in today's health and wellness world. You know, those who are advertising, those in charge, are about repeat customers. They're not about making people healthy. For the most part, you got your good people that are in there trying to shine some light, but they're being shadowed by, the big pharma, big ag, you know, federal agencies or what have you, USDA, the FDA, any other acronym you want to throw in there that's going to be making some fat pockets. But at the same time, if people start getting healthy, they're going to be losing money. So they're changing things up. Anybody ever just realize that they done flipped the food pyramid upside down? Talking about Cheerios and Frosted Flakes are better than steak and rice and vegetables. Come on now. You can't even tell what the cereal's made of. Frosted shredded mini what? No. So, you know, it's not in their agenda to make us healthy. It's in their agenda to keep us unhealthy so that we have to go to the doctor more often, which means we have to use our insurance, which means we have to get medicated, all of which lines pockets of certain people, but makes us unhealthy. It stops us from enjoying life. All these diseases, these chronic diseases that can be stopped. Yes, there's diseases where you need medication for. I'm no fool. I'm also no doctor, but there's certain stuff that you just got to take medicine. I'm not crazy. I know that. But with that being said, you need to educate yourself. They're not going to do it. Don't trust in the operators of the machine to push down information. We all have this great thing, the cell phone, that is the world in our pocket. Educate yourself. Stop TikToking and start Googling things. YouTube videos that are actually beneficial. Get yourself things that'll help explain. One thing that Dr. Mark he had his own personal library. Like I said, he published work. He has books there. I got this book that I'm going to start reading, Why We Get Sick. When I'm done with this, there's another book called Why We Get Fat. Yeah, I'm sure that's going to ruffle a few feathers, But again, educate yourself. And while educating yourself, implement some of the things you learn. If you watched my last video, I emphasized on why our diets fail. Is because sometimes we just go all in right off the bat. Start small. Don't go into your kitchen and just throw everything out and start from scratch and be like, you know what? I'm just going to eat vegetables when you haven't eaten a vegetable in 2 years. Failure. Already set yourself up for failure. Start doing the little things. Start eating more fruit. And, if it's not in the house, you're not going to eat it. Stop buying the junk food. Don't buy, I'm going to say it, don't buy the Christmas tree cake boxes. In my house, those are gone. I'm no fool. I know if that's in the house, I'm going to eat it. But, find things that are entertaining also to implement into your, your health and wellness. So they call Hippocrates the father of modern medicine. And he has a quote here. I'm going to read it directly because I don't want to butcher it. He says, let food be thy medicine. Let medicine be thy food. So yeah, not too many people are going to go ahead and start following Hippocrates back in his day. But if Hippocrates is the father of modern medicine, then the man I'm going to just breeze on right now is that cool uncle at the cookout. Now, I'm talking about Sean Stevenson. For you guys that know who he is, you follow him. He's got a podcast, The Model Health Show. You can find him on Instagram, Sean Model. He's got 3 books. He's got Sleep Smarter, great book, read it. I'm sleeping way better. He's got Eat Smarter, great book, read it. I'm pretty sure that's what started me, actually following along with the nutrition regimen that Dr. Mark gave me. And he just came out with this. And again, I'm not affiliated with Sean, but when shit is good, shit is good. And he has this book here, Eat Smarter Family Cookbook. Just came out beginning of October, if I'm not mistaken. Great book. Not only does it give you some bomb food to make, breaks it down, Barney style, breaks it down, gives the scientific research behind it, and it's all about changing the culture that we grew up on. I grew up in New Jersey. I was the fat young kid. I still got that fat young kid in me. That fat boy will come out like that and just destroy those Christmas tree cakes. But it was hard growing up because the way things were set up. There was no Whole Foods. There was no farmers market in New Jersey, near 5 minutes from Newark, New Jersey. Nah, they weren't farmers market, nothing. You had your liquor stores, you had your check cashing places, and you had your corner stores and bodegas. Yeah, that's all they had. So, failure from the beginning. It was already an uphill battle. Just one thing is that you need to remember is that no one is going to do it for you. No one's going to help you. If anything, the people calling the shots, they want you to be in that food desert. They want you fat and dumb, for lack of better words. Now, I don't say dumb as in low IQ. I mean dumb as in uneducated. I broke a couple of things down in my previous video. I'll just reiterate: eat healthier. That's all it is. Well, yeah, it's expensive. Yeah, it's expensive. You know what's expensive too? Medication. You know what's going to be expensive? The medical bills that you're going to leave for your kids when you pass earlier than you should have. You're not going to be able to have that extra money because you're going to be spending it on medication. And then that's going to just add extra stress. And stress is not good for your health anyway. We're already in a stressful time. So please, educate yourself. Find a way to change the culture in your house. Make it a family thing. That's what I love about the Eat Smarter Family Cookbook. He brings it to the family aspect. Teach the young ones now. I was never taught this. I'm now 37 years old, and I want to say I probably learned more in the last 3 years than I did, the first part of my life. But what I am doing is I'm passing it on to my son. I'm passing it on to my daughter. I'm showing them and involving them rather than just telling them. In one ear, out the other when you tell them. But when you make it part of their life, when you make it fun, when you make it interesting, you get them involved, they tend to want to keep doing that. There's a sense of pride with that. So, again, I leave you with this. Start with educating yourself. There's so much information on these little things that we carry in our pockets. You're the only one who's going to fix you. You're the only one who's going to set the kids on the right path. And if we all do it together, one gigantic voice, they have to listen. They got to listen. So again, thank you for watching this video. Again, if anybody's cool with shooting me some ideas on video editing, one step at a time. You guys are going to watch me grow through the channel. I started out leaning my phone up on a water bottle or a coffee mug, and mom, look at me now. Anyway, appreciate you guys. Have a good one. Catch you on the next one.